In the grand salon of Buckingham Palace, Kate Middleton sat alone. She hadn't spoken to anyone for 2 hours, just staring out the window. There was deep worry in her eyes. William's latest decision had shaken her deeply. Just then, the door opened and King Charles entered. But what he was about to tell Kate would change the history of the royal family forever. But the beginning of this story was much more complex than what Kate experienced during those 2 hours of silence. Because what William told her wasn't just a decision, it was an ultimatum that would make Kate completely question her future in the royal family. And the news King Charles would bring was bigger than she could ever imagine. That Tuesday morning, the argument between Kate Middleton and Prince William had shaken the walls of Kensington Palace. The topic seemed simple on the surface, whether Kate would continue her public duties, but in reality, much deeper problems lay beneath. "Kate, you're not the same as you used to be," William had said in a harsh tone. "You're being crushed under media pressure. The children are being affected by this too." Kate was shocked. She had been part of the royal family for 15 years, had dealt with every difficulty. "William, No, Kate!" William had cut her off. "I've made a decision. You will withdraw from all your public duties for 6 months. This is not up for discussion." Kate's world had stopped at that moment. Withdrawing for 6 months meant almost exile in the royal family. "This is my life, William. You can't make decisions for me." "I'm making this decision as the future king," William had said coldly, "and my decision is final." Kate understood at that moment. William saw her not just as a wife, but as a risk factor that needed to be controlled. Kate had come to Buckingham Palace after arguing with William and started sitting alone in the grand salon. It was 2 p.m. in the afternoon, and now it was past 4. What was going through Kate's mind during these 2 hours? First came anger. How could William have the right to scold her like a child? Then sadness replaced the anger. Maybe William was right. Maybe she really was a failure. Kate looked out the window at Buckingham Palace's gardens, thinking about the past. She remembered how Diana had walked alone in these corridors, how she too had experienced similar difficulties. Did Diana feel like this too, she thought? Was she also left alone like this? Kate thought of her children, George, Charlotte, Louis. How would she explain to them that their mother would disappear for 6 months? Just then her phone rang. Her mother, Carol Middleton, was calling. "Kate, dear, how are you? There's something strange in your voice." Kate wanted to cry, but held herself back. "I'm fine, Mom, just a bit tired." "Are you sure? If you want." "Mom, I'm fine. We'll talk later." After hanging up the phone, Kate returned to her solitude. At exactly 4:15, Kate heard the door open quietly. When she turned and looked, she saw King Charles. There was seriousness mixed with compassion on his face. As Charles entered the room, he noticed Kate's condition. Her eyes were completely red, her hair disheveled. She had tissue fragments in her hands. This wasn't the usually perfect-looking Kate Middleton. "Kate," Charles said in a soft voice, "we were looking for you." Kate tried to stand up, but Charles gently stopped her. "Sit down, my dear. No need for protocol." Charles walked slowly around the room, trying to imagine how Kate had been sitting here alone for 2 hours. The tissue fragments by the window, the untouched teacup on the table, everything revealed the drama Kate was experiencing. "I heard about what you went through with William," Charles said, before sitting next to her. Kate was surprised. Had William told his father everything, or had it spread by word of mouth in the palace? "Charles, Kate's voice was trembling. "Kate," Charles said, sitting next to her, "I've been watching you for 15 years. You're one of the most valuable members of this family." Kate's eyes filled with tears again. She hadn't heard such supportive words lately. Everyone was telling her what she should do, but no one was asking how she felt. But William might be right. Maybe I really am a failure. Charles shook his head and touched Kate's hands. Kate, I'm going to tell you something, but first know that this conversation will stay in this room. Kate looked at Charles with curiosity. There was serious mystery in the king's tone. Charles took a deep breath and began to speak. Kate, the real reason for William's decision isn't you. This is related to his fear of becoming king. Kate was surprised. What do you mean? William sees his father ascending to the throne at age 73. He's also afraid of when his turn will come, and this fear makes him controlling. Charles continued, but the real problem is this, Kate. William doesn't yet understand how critical your role in the royal family is. What do you mean? Charles stood up and walked toward the window. Kate, I'm going to reveal the royal family's biggest secret to you. Kate's heart began to race. According to research we've conducted over the last 2 years, you are the most beloved royal family member by the British people, more than even me. Kate couldn't believe it. That's impossible. That's not all, Kate. Research shows that if you withdraw from the royal family, support for the monarchy will drop by 40%. Charles sat down and held Kate's hands. Kate, there's something William doesn't know. I met with a special committee from Parliament. They are very pleased with you. What kind of committee? The Committee for the Future of the Monarchy. Kate, they want your role in the royal family to be increased, not decreased. Kate was trying to process this mind-boggling information. Moreover, Charles said, I want to make you a special offer. Kate looked with curiosity. Kate, I want to nominate you for the title of Princess Royal. Kate's mouth fell open. The Princess Royal title was given to the king's eldest daughter. Currently, this title belonged to Princess Anne. But Charles, this is impossible. Kate, this title isn't only given by blood relation. It can also be given according to service to the king, and you deserve this. Kate's mind was in chaos. On one hand, William wanted to send her into exile for 6 months. On the other hand, her father-in-law was offering her one of the most prestigious titles of the royal family. Charles, what will William say about this? Charles's face hardened. Kate, William is not yet king. I make these decisions. But this will tear his family apart. No, Kate. On the contrary, it will unite them. William needs to understand your value. Kate took a deep breath. She began to think about what the Princess Royal title meant. This wasn't just a title. It was a responsibility that would completely change her position in the royal family. Charles, do I really deserve this title? Kate, you've been the most loyal member of this family for 15 years. In the eyes of the people, you're a symbol of hope. Kate walked toward the window and looked at the crowd outside. The people who gathered at the palace gates every day would wait for hours just to see her. So what will change with this title? You won't just be William's wife anymore, Kate. You'll be an independent royal family member. You'll have your own projects, your own budget, your own staff. Kate's heart raced. This was what she had dreamed of, truly serving the people independently. But what will Princess Anne say? This title belongs to her. Charles smiled. I spoke with Anne. She said no one deserves it more than you. At that moment, Kate gathered her courage. This opportunity might not come again. Charles stood up. Kate, I'm giving you 24 hours. If you accept, tomorrow I'll officially present this proposal to Parliament. Kate was shocked. This fast? Kate, the royal family is undergoing change. You can be the leader of this change. As Charles walked toward the door, he turned. And Kate, remember, sometimes life's biggest decisions are made when you feel most alone. That evening when Kate returned home, William was waiting for her. There was a worried expression on his face. Kate, did you talk to my father? Kate was undecided. Should she tell him what Charles had said? William, you want to send me into exile for 6 months. Why? William shifted uncomfortably. Kate, I'm just trying to protect you. Protect me from whom? William? From the people? From the media or from yourself? William was surprised. Kate had never spoken so harshly. Kate, what are you trying to say? William, you're afraid of becoming king, and you're projecting this fear onto me. William got angry. I'm not afraid of anyone. Then why are you trying to push away your biggest supporter? William had fallen silent. Kate was right. The next day, the news broke. King Charles announced that he would nominate Kate Middleton for the Princess Royal title. The media went crazy. Headlines in the British press were, "Historic title for Kate Middleton," "Shocking decision from King Charles," "Silence from William." Princess Anne was among the first to react. Her statement from Kensington Palace surprised all of England. "I've held this title for 45 years, but I've never seen anyone like Kate. If this strengthens Kate's role in the royal family, I fully support it. She's already living the true meaning of this title anyway." Anne's words were very important because giving up the Princess Royal title wasn't an easy decision. Queen Camilla reacted very differently to the situation. Her first reaction was silence. Then she said these words to her close circle. "I wonder how Kate getting this title will affect my position. Now she too will have a title at my level." Camilla's concerns were realistic. Kate becoming Princess Royal would make her one of the most powerful female members of the royal family. The most striking reaction came from Sarah Ferguson. The Duke of York's ex-wife wrote in her Instagram post, "Kate, you inspire all of us. You're the only person who deserves this title. Bravo." There was no reaction from Meghan Markle. While maintaining her silence in California, her close friends said she was shocked. The biggest shock was William's reaction. He hadn't made a press statement, hadn't posted on social media, hadn't even answered phone calls. He hadn't spoken to anyone for 3 days. Palace staff were worried about William's silence. A staff member made this statement anonymously to newspapers. Prince William was very surprised. Having such a big decision made without consulting him deeply shook him. The public enthusiastically welcomed Kate's title. The #sign, Princess Royal Kate, trended on social media, and millions of support messages were shared. William didn't speak to anyone for 2 days after learning of Charles's decision. Finally, he came to Kate. "Kate, I made a mistake." Kate was surprised. William never apologized. "You were trying to push away my greatest strength." William, "No, Kate, listen to me. I'm going to be king, but this isn't possible without you." William knelt in front of Kate. "Kate, will you forgive me? And will you accept this title?" Kate began to cry. "William, I just want to be by your side, and I only want to be king with you." A week later, Kate Middleton was voted on in Parliament for the Princess Royal title. This would be the first time in history this title was given to a royal spouse. The voting result, 456 in favor, 124 against. Kate Middleton officially became Princess Royal. At the ceremony held at Buckingham Palace, as Kate Middleton knelt, King Charles gave her the Princess Royal title. "With this title, you're making your place in the hearts of the British people official." When Kate stood up, William came to her side and kissed her. "My Princess Royal," he said proudly. During the ceremony, Charles whispered to Kate, "Those 2 hours of silence led to this result, didn't they?" Kate smiled. Sometimes silence is the most powerful action. After the title ceremony, there was a celebratory atmosphere in the streets of London. The British people were very pleased that Kate had become Princess Royal. A poll showed 87% support. Kate's first official speech went down in history. "This title isn't just mine, it's a success for all women. It shows that it's not where you come from that matters, but where you're going." 6 months later, Kate launched new projects with her Princess Royal title: women's rights, children's education, mental health. William had learned a lot from this process. He understood Kate's power and chose to support her. Charles wrote a letter to Kate. "Dear Kate, your sitting in silence for 2 hours that day wasn't by chance. You were gathering your inner strength, and now that strength serves all of England. A year later, Kate said this about those 2 hours of waiting in an interview. Sometimes life's most difficult moments are when the strongest decisions are born. When I was left alone that day, I found myself. King Charles didn't just give me a title, he gave me back my self-confidence. And William, he became my biggest supporter, because true love isn't about being jealous of each other's power, it's about supporting it. What King Charles told Kate that day really had changed royal history. Kate Middleton wasn't just a princess now, she was Princess Royal. And those 2 hours of silence had witnessed the birth of one of the most powerful female leaders of the British monarchy. Kate's story proved this. Sometimes the greatest victories are born from the deepest silences, and Charles's unthinkable move had changed not just Kate, but the future of the entire royal family. This story spoke of power and support, silence and determination, and most importantly, what true leadership means. In the final scene, as Kate stood on the balcony of Buckingham Palace with her Princess Royal title, she remembered those 2 hours of waiting. The loneliness she felt then had now turned into the love of all England. King Charles was right. That silence really had changed royal history forever. If you want to hear more stories like this, don't forget to subscribe and click the like button. See you in the next video.